Chapter 3. Amelia is on a mission. There's a lot the clock lady says to her. Go away and stop touching me are top contenders, but what the clock lady doesn't say stands out the most to Amelia. Or rather, what the clock lady doesn't do. She never shoves Amelia. She never grabs her and takes her home. She lays on that couch and withers away. Amelia is antsy. She has restless bones and an exuberant amount of energy. Sit still is a toss-up, behave is a suggestion, and don't do this is just begging her to do it. So she does. Her watch hums brightly in her hand, a solar flare of magic and adventure. Amelia learns. She taught herself how to use the family PC. She can teach herself time traveling with no problem. She falls between the cracks of time and tries to pick apart how it works. It's hard. Mathematical equations suddenly require attention in her head, stuff far above her level that she struggles to understand. She's constantly hopping in on the clock lady to ask her questions. Hey, how many threads should a timeline have? What's a timeline's natural color? How do I know something is different about it? The clock lady rarely answers in a straightforward manner. Amelia doesn't mind. She makes a game of it, gently prodding the woman until she begrudgingly drops the answers Amelia looks for. Promising to leave the woman alone for the evening becomes her favorite bartering chip. She nearly always gets her way with it. Amelia doesn't know how to fix it. She can see the problems. The flows of time are wonderful. They look like giant banners, ribbons, colorful carpets, and tapestries. It's a weave of life and worlds. Amelia finds the frayed ends of some of them and wonders, how easy is it to do this? She doesn't know how to sew. That doesn't feel like the solution, despite the timelines resembling nothing but cloth. She gives it a try anyway with her aunt's threading needle and stomps her foot when nothing is healed about it. It's not your job. Don't pretend like it is. The clock lady was sick. Maybe she was dying, who knows? Something was wrong. Amelia can feel it like a phantom itch on her skin. Something was wrong, and it was making her frustrated that she couldn't figure out what. She doesn't like not knowing the band-aid to the wound. Without a solution, Amelia is floundering for clues. She hops from timeline to timeline. There has to be something there. There has to be. Blood raining from the sky, the eye of a god staring her down from the clouds as rain and storm bury the city. There's a lone girl with a shark tail screaming towards the sky, and it sounds so sad. Amelia is frozen until she's too afraid to look anymore, and she's gone. A desolate nothing, empty space, a barren planet of ash-gray sand with nobody around except a single woman with pigtails, lonely, who looks over at Amelia with wide eyes and mouthing her name like she knows her, and that's possibly the scariest one of all. There has to be a solution. Amelia is scared. She's a big girl, though. She can handle scary things. She's going to be a detective one day, and she'll be the greatest detective in the world. No, the universe. She'll be the greatest detective any of these timelines have ever seen, but they actually need to be alive for her to do that. She needs to figure out something. She feels like if she doesn't, she'll lose the clock lady too. What about the empty timelines? Amelia asks one day. The ones that are really dirty? What's wrong with them? The clock lady mutters. It's too late for them. They're trash. Amelia lays her arms over the clock lady's stomach. There has to be a way. Come on, please. Can you tell me anything? Can you do anything? Clock lady bristles and snaps. I'm not going to do anything. Buzz off. That was a lost cause. Amelia figures the only solution is going into it head first. She finds the poor, shriveled ribbon of a timeline and goes into it with a determined frown. Even at the end of its rope, it deserves a chance. There has to be a way. She finds something worse than the end of the world there. Everything is frozen. She can see motes of organic matter stuck in the air, particles of light unmoving as time itself has frozen over this reality. People on the street are walking, but they aren't moving. Chunks out the road are eaten by static. The sky is pitch black, and it's raining ink. Amelia feels it in her hair. She reaches up to touch it, and it grimaces at the stickiness. It's not coming off her hand easily. Oh, yuck. The shadows around her are moving. There are irregular twitches to them. Some of them have form, while most don't have a recognizable shape. Some are crawling, each limb sporadic and unpredictable as they climb up buildings. Small legs, no legs, long legs, small head, too many heads. As one, they're all looking at her. Amelia flinches. The shadows don't have eyes. There are large glowing orbs in their heads, fathomless white space that could be eyes, but look more like the headlights of a car. The light bores into her. One gives a jerky movement, a full-body twitch that makes Amelia step back. They burst into frantic movement. It's everything out of a horror movie, dripping and twitching as they crawl for her. Amelia scrambles back, her hand clutching her watch and preparing to jump out when coldness envelops her back. She feels like she's being dunked with water. The inky, tar-like substance is soaking down on her shoulders. There are hands caging around her ribs. Amelia screams, "Let go! Let me go!" Her watch ignites to life. Golden electricity lances off it. The shadows recoil away from its light. The hands around her make a noise like the static of her aunt's TV. She's no longer being touched by it. She grabs her watch and throws herself out of the ribbon. Time cradles her away from danger. The watch is a comforting heartbeat in her palm. She was still covered in it. Amelia, with her heart pounding in her ears, shakily tries to pry the substance off her clothes. It's not coming off easily. Another jump brings her back to her home. Her feet land in the bathroom of her apartment. She's not tall enough for the sink yet. With trembling hands, she's grabbing the stool tucked into the corner and pushing it against the counter. When she stands on it, she can see herself in the mirror. There's ink smudged over her cheeks. It's sticky in her hair, and making blonde strands poke up haphazardly. She frowns at the state of her shirt. There is a handprint over her tummy, and it's making her nauseous. Amelia is a big girl. She gets out a towel, gets it wet, and sets to work. It's a long process with little reward. She changes clothes so she doesn't have to see the ink. She dunks her head under the sink faucet. She scrubs until she can't see a single black stain left behind. She frowns down at her towel. The sink, the stool, and the towel were all coated with it now. "Ame," her aunt's voice calls. "It's time for school. Come on." Amelia grimaces. She hastily puts the towel in the trash bin under the sink. She'll clean the sink later. She runs out the door. "Coming!" Crony opens her eyes. It's quiet, which is odd. She's used to being woken up with her shoulder being shaken and a tiny, high-pitched voice in her ear babbling away a mile a minute. Crony lifts her head up from her spot on the couch. Her domain is empty. She squints suspiciously. She has a hunch the little gnat is hiding somewhere. It's a small paranoia that has her turning over to put her back to the room. When nothing happens, she feels itchy. The absence of noise is making her restless. Ugh, Crony miserably buries her face into the couch. I'm being tortured and the brat isn't even here. There's something. She can feel it like an echo in the back of her head, but she can't identify what it is. Something tried to reach her. Crony passes it off as migraine and closes her eyes. When Amelia gets home, all the lights are off. Amelia stands there for a moment. It's startling to find the apartment so dark. She can hear the roar of a bureau car as it drives away. Auntie hadn't picked her up from school, and she had to call one of the investigators to come pick her up. That wasn't abnormal, Amelia reasons. Her auntie was very busy taking care of both of them. Amelia always felt pride that her auntie trusted her to be a big girl and handle any hurdle that comes her way. Being able to ask the school to use a phone to call the bureau, a super big professional important establishment, well, Amelia felt more and more like a detective worth her salt. Who cares if she was a kid? She was cool. This, however, was new. Is Auntie even home? She treads softly into the apartment. When she tries to turn on a light, nothing happens. The power is out? She frowns at this. The light from the stairwell worked perfectly fine. Did something happen to the light bulb? She tries the kitchen light, but it doesn't work either. Auntie? She calls. The shadows move. Amelia freezes in her tracks. There's empty space by the TV that her eyes hadn't registered. She gleamed over it, but now that she was staring, she can see two small lanterns peering back at her. The headlights of a car. The eyes of monsters from another timeline. Did I bring that here? Amelia panics. Where's Auntie? She had to get rid of it. She's scrambling for the kitchen. Her aunt's instructions come back to her, gently instructing her what to do if there was someone after her. Home invasion. Will that work on monsters? She's too small to reach the counter. She knows there's pepper spray tucked behind the sink. She can hear thundering footsteps and heavy breathing coming toward the kitchen. Horrified tears are blurring her vision. It's coming! It's coming after me! She opens the utensil drawer and draws a knife. Amelia backs herself into a corner, the sharp end pointed out and away from her. Her hands are shaking. The footsteps had stopped. In the dark, she can see a hand gripping the doorway. Her breath leaves her in frantic wisps. She's shaking so badly she's afraid she's going to drop the knife. Stay back! Stay back! I have a knife! A head peeks out. The lantern glow of its eyes finds her. Empty orbs, expressionless. It's looking right at her. Static is starting to eat at the wallpaper where its hand is touching the wall. This is a bad dream. Amelia stares with wide eyes as it creeps forward. I want to wake up. Please, I want to wake up. It lunges for her. Amelia shrieks, her knife raised in front of her. She can feel her watch hum in her pocket. The golden electricity is racing into the air. It's going up her arm and wreathing itself around her knife. When the inky mass of the monster falls onto her, the knife bursts like a gunshot. Amelia flinches in surprise. She can feel the coolness on her cheeks and over her shoulders. The monster is melting, its body disintegrating into tiny flakes that burn away, piece by piece. The gold of her knife shines brightly. It's chasing every shadow away, including the monster. When nothing of it remains, the kitchen light turns on. Amelia flinches. There's no one there. What? You can't hear me? Hold on. When nothing of it remains, the kitchen light turns on. Amelia flinches. There's no one there except for her. The wallpaper is fine. There's not a sign of ink on the floor or on her person. Her knife is still glowing, but slowly is starting to dim. The gold of it returns back to a steel blade. She's gripping the handle of it so tightly that her palms are aching. Auntie? She calls. She can't muster her voice above a whisper. Fear is tight in her stomach. She's afraid of every shadow, every dark spot. She's afraid to see it move. When she doesn't get a response, she scrambles for the front door. Your auntie? One of the bureau investigators looks at her strangely. There's a degree of caution about it and pity. Honey, what are you talking about? Amelia stares. Another investigator's crouching beside her. Ami, what's this about? Did something happen? Auntie! Amelia chokes out for the fourth time. She's not home. The investigators look at each other. There was tension in the air. Amelia can feel it. A few other investigators were down the hall. Some were looking at her with that same pity. They'd been giving her that look the moment she'd barreled into the bureau, crying and heaving for air. Ame, the investigator says gently, you don't have an auntie. Are you talking about the orphanage? Did something happen? Amelia reels. What? Orphanage? What? No, Amelia sputters. What? What did you mean? I'll give them a call, one of the investigators mutters. They are disappearing down the hall. Amelia feels her stomach sinking to her toes when they do. Ah, ma'am. Again with the sweet voice, as if she's about to fly off her hinges, as if she's done something crazy. Did someone claim to be your auntie? Amelia opens her mouth. She closes it. She's beyond words. What do you mean? You talk with auntie nearly every day. The way she's being looked at feels like too much. The word orphanage is ringing loudly in her ears. Her head feels like it's been stuffed with cotton. The apartment, Amelia tries feebly. No one's home. The investigator looks confused. Ame, we don't understand what you're trying to say. Listen, hon, we're gonna call the orphanage and ask them what happened, okay? We'll give you a ride back. Amelia shakes her head. Her heart beats wildly. No, what? No, I don't belong there. That's not where I belong. Ame, one of them calls, wary, startled, and she realizes she's backing away. It's a realization that sinks into her bones and springs her from her stupor. She doesn't want this. She wants to be home. She wants her family. Hot tears blur her vision as she rams her shoulder against the door to the bureau and makes a run out onto the street. She can hear shouts behind her. She knows she's not fast enough to outrun them. The only thing keeping her from being caught is the heavy downpour overhead. The rain wraps around the streets and the crowds around her. Amelia ducks around adult legs and runs until her legs ache and the shouts disappear entirely. Take me home, she cries. Take me home. I want to go home. She slips. Amelia catches her fall, her palms scraping against the sidewalk. Her knees burn from it. It brings her back. Her lungs feel like grapes. Every gasp of air feels like lava down her throat. Her chest is tight with something ugly and painful. Her clothes are soaked. It feels like ink. Shakily, she looks up. A few feet away is a bus stop, the indoor kind that makes shelter from the rain. It has a light on the inside. Light. Desperation has her scrambling on all fours to get to her feet. She's stumbling her way inside. The bench feels too exposed. The glass walls around her make her feel like a bug. She's not hidden enough. She's not safe enough. She crawls underneath the bench. Her hands are shaking. They won't stop shaking. She lays on her side and pulls them close to her chest. She curls around them and closes her eyes. If she can't see anything, she thinks childishly, it won't see her. She's afraid to open her eyes and find the light of the bus stop gone. She's afraid to open her eyes and find lanterns looking back at her. Help, she cries, her voice a weak croak and lost under the sound of rain. Crony feels it again. It's a noise in the back of her head. It sounds like the ringing of a clock, a small alarm bell. Her brows furrow and she sits up. The artifacts around her room are stationary. Nothing is upset about them. The silence of her domain hadn't been interfered with. It was all in her head. I'm going crazy, she thinks. Crony runs a hand through her hair. There's a small, petulant urge to curl back onto the couch and pretend it's not there. Something about the bell is driving her to stand up. Her legs wobble as she does. Crony scowls. What am I even doing right now? Annoyed, she makes her way to the window. The sight isn't pretty, and it sours her mood even more. The weaves of time have become dirty. Only half remained untouched by anomalies. The ones that were unharmed were frayed and falling into disrepair. Crony leans her chin on her palm and watches them drolly. Amongst them all, a small ribbon catches her eye. It's a lovely pink shade. It's unfrayed, unharmed, but she can see the smallest inky splotch on it. A shame, she thinks. She beckons her hand out, and the ribbon comes to her. It winds around her fingers, a needy pet begging for attention. Crony smiles mirthlessly. She can see the damage the time anomaly has already caused. The roar of volcanoes erupting in tandem, a creature set loose on the world, the hungry dead digging out of the ground, the sea trembling as one of its cities is lost to the dark, the dripping ink of a church as a single droplet lands on a book, and the book blinks one eye towards the priests around it. An apartment. Crony pauses. She's rooted in her spot, unsure of herself. "Oh," she whispers. "So this is where you came from." Crony eyes the ribbon. There's an emotionless part of her that wants to tear the timeline to shreds. It'd be nothing to her. It'd rid her of that child nuisance. Another part of her squirms uneasily at the idea. She doesn't have to decide. In the next moment, the ink splotch is gone and the ribbon relaxes. Crony raises an eyebrow. "I didn't do that." She glances around her domain. She hadn't left it in so long that it felt wrong to entertain the idea. She felt like she was going back on something she'd promised she wouldn't do, even though she'd never made any promises to stay here. She strokes her thumb over the ribbon and exhales. Crony is in front of a bus stop. She grimaces as she feels rain on her head. Ugh, it's been a long time since she felt it. She wasn't a fan of being soaked. She strides into the safety of the bus stop, brushing her gloves along her sleeves with a huff. She can feel it, that gentle chime in the back of her head, a warning bell. It has her crouching low on the ground, her gaze finding the spot underneath the bench. It's Amelia. The child is laying slack against the ground. She's thoroughly soaked, her hair matted to her face. It doesn't hide her eyes. Her gaze is trained on the ground, far away, tired. It was such a polar opposite to the energy the child usually has that Crony stills. "Amelia," Crony tries awkwardly. The blonde slowly glances up at her. There's not a flicker of emotion about it. "Hi." "Hi," Crony returns. She doesn't know why she feels the need to whisper. She feels like she's approaching a wounded animal. "Why are you under there?" "I don't want to be found," Amelia whispers. Crony remembers the ink splotch. She frowns, something tugging at her chest. "Did you get hurt?" Amelia makes a soft noise. It's not a confirmation, but Crony doesn't like how lackluster the response is. The entire situation felt wrong. "Why aren't you home right now, Crony prods. "It's gone," Amelia whispers. "Auntie is gone." Crony feels out of her depth. She can understand those words perfectly fine, but the weight behind them is lost on her. As a concept, she doesn't have a family. She can see what it's doing to Amelia. The child hasn't even twitched since Crony appeared. She's used to excited smiles. She's not used to this. The time anomaly. Crony lowers her gaze. She doesn't like the feeling she gets when she thinks about it. She is far past the point of caring about timelines, but this wasn't a timeline involved anymore. This was Amelia and Crony's actions, or lack thereof. If I had continued nursing timelines, Crony thinks, then you wouldn't be in this situation, would you? The watch would never have fallen to you. Your world would be whole and perfect. Crony exhales softly. My name is Oro Crony. Amelia slowly blinks at her. She looks a little more awake at that, but not nearly close to what Crony's used to. Crony extends a hand down to the child, beckoning her with her fingers. I'm the Warden of Time, Crony whispers. As a time traveler, you're my responsibility. What? Amelia croaks. She's looking at Crony's hand. Will I stay with you? Crony feels like she's not even herself as she says, yeah, if you want to. The rain pattering against the bus stop is the only noise around them. Crony can feel her legs starting to cramp the longer she crouches down. She doesn't lift her hand away. Amelia hasn't taken her eyes off of it. There's a small spark there, a phantom touch of something wilder, before Amelia's reaching out to grab Crony's hand. Crony gently ushers her out of her hiding spot. She frowns at the obvious scrapes on the child. Her hair is a mess, and she has dirt smudged over her cheeks. Her clothes were muddy as well. Crony lifts her up into her arms. Amelia leans against her shoulder, completely drained. Crony has never held anyone like this. She doesn't know what's proper. She weighs practically nothing. She's so small. It tugs at Crony's heart. She smooths back wild blonde hair and whispers, "Let's go home."